name is Nancy Kruger. I am San Gabriel Valley District's Recording Secretary for the 2024-2026 year. Thank you for watching this recording. This recording is for this Recording Secretary Forum. The forum purposes is for education and training. I'd like to take this time to introduce to you a guest speaker today. She's going to talk about her experiences not only in district, but as a recording secretary. She's going to give you some advice, some tips, some helpful hints, and whatever else she feels like speaking about to you tonight. So I suggest you continue watching. May I introduce to you the one and only Mavis Hansen. Thank you for coming, Mavis.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm very proud to be here today.
Thank you. Mavis, can you first tell us what is your current position for San Gabriel Valley District?
Well, of course, I am a past district president, and I am very happy to be the happy birthday chairman for quite a few years now. I think I just enjoy that so much. And being the birthday chairman, you do get a chance, the opportunity to see each and every member in the district. So
thank you, Mavis.
I love that.
That is a special time, and we get to sing happy birthday to all the district members too.
Right.
Thank
Everyone can participate.
Mavis, can you tell me what positions you hold on the club level currently?
Currently, I with my Women's Club of South Pasadena, I do not have an official position, but I go to the monthly general membership meetings, and I also do the birthdays there. I do the flag salute, and very often I am secretary pro tem because the secretary is not there, the recording secretary, and I love doing it. And for the El Monte Women's Club, which is my main club, and I love my life of clubs. I am the current parliamentarian, and I just love doing that job. So.
Mavis, have you been a part of San Gabriel Valley District Council?
The district.
Have you been? Are you past president of the district?
Yes, I am the past president of the district from 2012 through 2014.
Thank you. Mavis, have you ever been a recording secretary?
I have been a recording secretary numerous times, not only for my women's club, the Federation, both clubs, both of my local clubs that I belong to. I've been recording secretary, and I've also belonged to other women's organizations, Optimist, Business and Professional Women, which I have been not only president, but recording secretary many times. Actually, for my district, Business and Professional Women, which is called the Sierra Mar District, I am the current recording secretary. So I do love doing recording secretary. I've done that since I've been in school when they had officers.
Thank you. I think we're privileged to have an expert here.
No, whoa.
Thank you.
Whoa.
So Ms. Mavis, let's start off right away and give us your criteria list, what might be the most important down to the smallest detail, because I know you've given lots of advice, including as parliamentarian, on what should be done that may not be in the bylaws. So I know, first of all, we look to the club bylaws and standing rules. Then we look to the district bylaws and standing rules. And then we look to Robert's Rules of Order. So yes. What's most important, Mavis, for a recording secretary?
Well, what I always like to say to anyone that is thinking of being a recording secretary is that, to me, it is one of the most important roles that you play in a club, in any club, no matter local, a district, a state, whatever. Because not only do you record the minutes, you are recording the history of every
see.
organization that you take these minutes of. And to me, the history is very, very important. So you're an important person, and your responsibility to this office is to do the best you can. And that means, as Nancy said before, reading your bylaws, reading your standing rules, reading anything that pertains to minutes, going to the workshops, looking at minutes from all the other clubs or the other organizations. And of course, Robert's Rules is always, always something you can look to.
Mm-hmm. What is something we have to follow as recording secretaries? Say, for instance, there's Robert's Rules of Order, which applies to all organizations. So in the women's clubs, besides the history, what else should we always be thinking about when we're trying to record the minutes of a meeting?
Well, as I said before, it is a history. So what is very important is what exactly happened. And one of the most important things on your meetings, of course, are motions. Because motions, they change things, they bring new things in, and just an extremely important part of your minutes. You cannot have a meeting and have a motion without that motion being in the minutes.
I see. And part of the motion process is your president who calls on from the floor. And then what happens in that motion process, Mavis?
Well, of course, when you have a motion to present, excuse me, many of the clubs have a form that you should fill out before you stand to be recognized to read your motion. It's very good to speak with the president, let her know that you have this motion, and of course have the proper amount of copies that your club requires when you present a motion. To present a motion, excuse me, you should stand, be recognized, and then you should, and this is the one time, you should really read right from your form, because what the members will vote on is exactly what you say. So when you make your form, and sometimes it's hard, you have a motion at the last minute when you're at the meeting, you're scribbling things down, somebody has to read them. And the next person to read them at the podium is the president. She must take the form and read exactly the words that are written on this form. No comments from either the person presenting the motion, from either the person, the chairperson reading them, or from the audience, anything. This is not the time for additions. The motion is read. The members hear it exactly as they're going to vote. And that's very important, because this is what they're voting on, exactly what you're saying. And so once the motion is read and seconded, and there is discussion, then the vote is taken. And of course, the chairperson, right before the vote is taken, reads the exact wording again. And up to this time, there have been no comments except for discussion, and the vote is taken. If there is no second, of course, the motion is dead.
I have a question for you. So in recording this motion and the second takes place, what do you think about identifying the person who made the second? Do we record the person's name or not?
Robert's Rules does not require that.
Thank you. I like that. Thank you. I think I've had that question come up. Recording the second, do we put the person's name on the motion form? Yes, but in the minutes?
No.
Don't have to. Thank you for clearing that part up. Okay, my next question happens to be with organization. Like you said, it's the most important thing, and it takes a lot of time, not just to record the minutes, but then take that information back, type them, write them, how would you suggest we organize our life, other clubs, family, work, and being a recording secretary? What can you tell us?
Well, I think the most important thing when you're the recording secretary is as soon as you go home, you write your minutes as soon as possible. You already have the good memory of what happened there, and hopefully you have taken good notes of what you need, and you don't have to write down. I've seen recording secretaries try to write down everything. You don't. The easiest way to do it is just to work right with your agenda. And right on the agenda, it's already saying when your meeting is called to order and who does it. Have to enter the correct time. Very important, correct time the meeting starts. The correct time the meeting is adjourned. Very important. You never want to leave that out of your minutes. That's always there in your minutes.
Now, for me, my question is about attendance. On the minutes, should we record the attendance of just the board officers? So I know at the end of district meetings, we have our credentials team, and they come up and they tell us how many people were there in general. What do you think about recording how many people were there? Do I have to ask our hostess? How many ended up signing in? What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are on that are that for a board meeting when there's just a few members there, it's great to put as soon as the meeting is called to order attendance. And what I like to do on some of my meetings that I record for, if it's small enough, when I'm making the agenda, I put everybody's name on there that belongs on there, and I also write and guests. Okay. So at the meeting, the secretary, she just circles who came, who's there.
Okay.
And she can cross off who's not, or she can write excused, because some members do call in when they have an excused absence, which is always very nice for the president. Others don't.
Okay. Yeah, I had a question about that excused. So I've read that you don't put who's excused because it doesn't matter from Robert's Rules of Order. So what does it depend by club or what the president wants?
Well, I like to, as I said, on the board agenda, you have everybody's name there. So when you're doing the minutes, I feel that it's very important to know who was there. So you can just put who's there. Okay. Kind of iffy if you want to put excused absence for the person or not, or just to leave them off. That's kind of your prerogative. Okay. Also, especially for larger meetings, it's just better to put sign-in sheets attached. Ooh. And Robert's Rules will tell you that those attendance attachments are very, very important to many meetings, because something comes up and somebody said, oh, Nancy said that. Well, Nancy wasn't even there. So, you know, it's very, to me, that's a very important part of your meeting. Who's there and who's not there.
You're right. You're so right on that. I can attest to that I forgot about that part, but I shall add that to our minutes for the membership meetings. Is there anything else you can advise recording secretaries if they're struggling about how to format their minutes? I've heard that you don't say cordially written by at the end, or
no, you don't.
Okay.
You just write your name and your title, which is recording secretary. And under that, I always like to put another little line that says date approved. Oh. And so that's nice when you're because the one copy of the minutes that you submit must have the recording secretary's signature. Definitely. And it's nice also to put what date they were approved, because sometimes you go to a meeting, the next meeting, and they're not approved for some reason or the other. And you never have to say why they're not, really. It doesn't make any difference. And a lot of times with minutes, I like to say, when you're writing the minutes, write your minutes as if you were telling somebody what happened. So you're always in the same.
You're always, you told me, always in the past tense.
Yes, because I'm telling you now what happened.
Yes.
And so when this person 20 years later reads it, they will know what happened at that meeting. It's important to know what happened, not all the tiny little details.
Okay.
Your minutes should be as short as possible, but contain everything that is important or that needs to be remembered. So, but
thank you, Mavis. Now, I know the minutes are a legal document. What might this minutes legal document be used for after the fact, or besides history? Like maybe somebody, the bank, or
yes, the bank can ask for questions. Anybody can ask for questions, and that's when you go back. And that's why it's so important that your motions are exactly worded and easy to find. Some recording secretaries, especially when they belong to an organization that has a lot of motions, might have a motion book, a separate book, where all these forms are just entered into that notebook. And of course, the date is right there. So anybody, the bank comes and says, oh, the signature card is wrong, you have something to show, you know, them. So, and somebody sues the club for whatever reason, oh, you know, and that's happened. We know horrible things have happened in the clubs, but that's your, the minutes are your, as I said, history. They tell all, or they should tell all. As I said, anything very important definitely belongs in the minutes. A lot of things don't. Many times when you have announcements at the end of the meeting, they aren't really important to your club itself. They may be important to the members if they want to attend the events, but that really has nothing to do with your history. Your true minutes.
I like that. Thank you. Now, for those who are watching and you all of a sudden think of a question to ask, feel free to comment on this video, and maybe I can ask another past district president or past district recording secretary to help us answer that. Mavis, one last question regarding those attachments. In the minutes, when a chairman gives a report and the chairman gives you what their report is speaking of on a piece of paper, how do we record that in the minutes? Do we say see attachment, or how does that work?
Yes, attachment.
We say see attachment, and then we should number them? Or?
Well, you don't have to say see attachment, report attached. Report attached in parentheses is what I like to use.
Okay.
And what was I going to say on that? It's especially when you have you're down on your agenda to where reports are going to be done by quite a few chairmen or whatever reports. I'd like to just put reports, and then maybe use a bullet or a numbering system for the different ones. And let's say the membership chairman reported, and she had a lot of things to report, all these different things that are happening. And what I think you might want to put down in your minutes is, and she says, current membership is, and the amount. That's pretty important, right?
Yes.
And I think what is nice also is whenever you have new members, their name should be included in your minutes. We had 2 new members today, Tanya Britton and...
I have found that people like to see their name in print and recognized, even just in the minutes.
Well, and it's rather important, because somebody may come back to you later and want to know when when that person joined the club.
Yes.
Even they might have to ask you.
I totally
you
agree.
know, yes.
I agree.
So
Thank
that's
you.
an important thing. And then the rest, you can just say, report attached. And now
Okay.
their report tells whatever they wanted to report.
Yes.
Which is many times detailed things that it's interesting today. Next year, you'll have forgotten about it.
So you're saying that in the minutes, I can just say, see report, and I don't have to repeat what they said, besides like
Not
say
everything.
a book balance of the bank,
for instance,
the membership.
For instance, all your financial reports, you might want to say bank balance as of, in your current bank balance, as of this, report attached. So then if somebody wants to find out why we don't have more money, they can go back and look through that.
Because they should have that report. Now, who keeps these reports as a recording secretary?
Oh, definitely. When you say report attached, that is part of the minutes.
But it's not handed out to all the members, because that's maybe a lot of attachments? What do you think?
No. For instance, like you're going to be printing those minutes for the next meeting. No. You can, when it says report attached, if somebody sees on the treasurer's report and they didn't get a treasurer's report for whatever reason, they can go to the treasurer and ask.
Okay.
If the what other chairman do we have here? Just
besides the membership, and we might have whatever chairman that happens to speak.
If a health chairman speaks and she has all these marvelous things to tell you, which is great, when that's one of the good reasons of attending the meeting. You get all this information. Okay. But it's not important to the history of the club.
I see.
So you may just say the health chairman reported, and if there's some highlight, it's always nice to have a little highlight of something that they said. But you have to remember, you're speaking to somebody. You didn't come to the meeting today, so I'm trying to tell you what happened. And I want to make sure you know the things that are important. If you're more interested in what the health chairman said, then call up the health chairman and ask her, So as long as you see that report attached, there's more.
I really like that a lot. And I think our viewers, whether you're San Gabriel Valley District or whatever federation or club you happen to be at, this is valuable information you're giving us, Mavis.
I hope so.
It is. And although our forum here is not live, it can be saved and watched. If another recording secretary happens to have some questions, like I mentioned before, put your questions in the comments, email them to the email address that's listed on this YouTube channel, and we'll make sure I'll get an expert like Miss Mavis Hansen here to help you out, because there's always questions and we're always learning. I'm always learning myself, something new every time I write the minutes. There's always something to be improved upon. And that's in your personal life too.
Oh, definitely.
No matter how experienced or how old you are, you can always be learning.
Right.
I agree that too. Thank you, Miss Mavis Hansen, for participating in our Recording Secretary Committee Forum for San Gabriel Valley District. Thank you for viewing. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications so you can make sure you don't miss my next forum for San Gabriel Valley District. This is Nancy Kruger signing out. Thank you for watching.